What's good everyone? In today's tutorial video, I'm going to be showing you how I built this Orc Chieftain hut, and this is from my survival series here on YouTube. This was highly requested that I go ahead and make this into a tutorial, and if you guys want to see the rest of the village in a tutorial format as well, then go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. But without further ado, this is all the blocks that you're going to need. Now I might be off a couple blocks, I do apologize about that. I will have an updated list down in the comments below. I know it is a lot of blocks, this is kind of a mess of a house, so just bear with me. So to start out, you want to find kind of a wider area to build this house in. Right here, I just went ahead and just flattened out this land a little bit, did a little bit of landscaping. So the first step of this orc house is to build the base of it, and you guys could see me doing like a little squiggly line right here. This is going to be a very naturally shaped house. It's going to have a lot of curvature to it, and I will give you guys an overhead view just to make this a little easier, and we're going to be replicating this all the way around. So this is going to be sort of a symmetrical build. You guys can see the numbers right there. Feel free to pause it at any time to catch up with the video. After the little squiggle, we're going to place a birch wood block, and then we're going to make the squiggle again on the opposite side. That birch wood block is going to be like a bone. It's going to be like a structural object for the tent. And right here you can see the little indentation for the door. I did not do that in front yet, but I will do that when we come back around to the front. And again, placing in that birch wood plank to act as like a structural support for the tent that we're going to be building. And following around doing that same curved shape, and I will give you guys another overhead view. Make sure that your base looks like this. This is very important when starting out on this particular build. Like I said, feel free to pause it and make sure that everything's lined up correctly. Now that we've got the official shape down, we're going to come back in the front with some deep slate walls and deep slate stairs, and just kind of putting these around the rim of the shape as you guys see me doing right here. The goal for this is to just give it a little bit of curvature. We want the wall to look like it's curving up. And then when we get to the bone, we're going to go ahead and bring that out a couple blocks and put some stairs at the end. And we're just going to keep on doing this all the way around. Now this is a really good time to think about texturing your walls. In the front right here you can see I textured it, and in the back I did not texture it. We'll take a look at that at the end of the video to see what that looks like. After we have that outside done, we are going to actually come on the inside and put in another block. So this is going to make the wall actually 3 blocks thick, and you'll see why I do that a little bit later on. We'll go ahead and just, as you guys see I'm doing right here, just go ahead and place in blocks all the way around. Feel free to pause throughout the video to catch up with the video. This is sort of more of like an intermediate build. It has a lot of odd little shapes in it. This is an overhead view of the build so far. You could see I'm coming in and putting like little walls, little deep slate walls in the corner, and that's just to help with the roundness of the inside. Now we're going to start with the second layer of the house, first with the doorway, with building up the walls and the door frame area. After that, we're going to come through with some more stairs and slabs and walls, and just continue to push this wall shape kind of concave in on itself. You guys can see in that little corner I put some blocks and some walls, leaving a gap for the window that we're going to actually place a window there. And really with these stairs, you could place them however you want, as long as they are making the wall curve in on itself. So if it's not exactly like you see in the video, that is fine, as long as it looks good to you. Continue by building up the bone, and you see right here that we are placing some iron bars for the windows. And we're of course going to go ahead and fill in behind those stairs with a bunch of blocks, just thicken up that wall. And here's sort of a slow pan just so you guys could see the jumbled up mess of blocks that I have in front of me. It does look like just a pile of, deep slate and rubble, but that's kind of what we want it to look like. We want the orcish structures to look messy and to look, not super neat and clean, if you will. It does not have to be perfect. And you guessed it, we're going to go ahead and do that all the way around, making it sort of symmetrical on all the sides. Now you can actually make it non-symmetrical, which might look a little cool. Moving on to the third layer of the build, we're going to go ahead and finish off the door frame with some more walls and some more stone blocks with a little trap door above the door. I thought that looked pretty cool. Then we're going to go ahead and put an upside down stair on that torch. And this part of the wall is going to have a lot of deep slate walls, and we're just going to place blocks and walls in front of those blocks just to give it that nice curvature. Coming along to the bone block, continuing to build up that bone block, and we're just going to go ahead and do that all the way around. So this layer is mostly blocks and walls. There's no more stairs except for like the entrance part. So the fourth layer is going to be pretty easy. All you have to do is place a block on top of the block that you previously placed. Go ahead and just build that, leaving a gap in the front and the back. And those gaps are going to be filled in a little bit later. The reason we want those blocks there is they're going to act as like a backing for the jungle log beams we're going to be placing in. So from that diagonal block, go ahead and start building in the beams as you see me doing right here. And where those upside down stairs are, you are going to build a beam that comes out 2 blocks. This is personal preference right here. You can leave these blocks to where they don't show the inside of the log like I did here, or you can use exposed log if you want. The choice is up to you. And like I said, just go ahead and wrap that beam all the way around. Don't forget to leave a break for our bone that is going to be right in the middle right there. After you have that main beam going all the way around, we're going to come through with some jungle slabs and place them on the upper part and just come around and make like another beam, placing a fence in the corner right there and a trap door on the bone. Go ahead and come all the way around, and you don't want to place them over those 2 beams that you have sticking out. Then you're just going to come on the inside and just go ahead and fill this in with jungle slabs. Now in the back part right here, you see me do like a funky little stairway. You could do this however you guys want, however you guys like to build your stairways. This one is more of a double stairway, and we'll get to the interior of this build a little bit later on. So come up to the front and we're going to start working on the pillars. So place a log block with a fence, a gate, and a fence, and then another log block. Go ahead and place fences as you see I am doing here. Some of them will be off of the slab rim and some of them will be on, so make sure you just follow along. In the corner, we're going to go ahead and place 2 more pillars diagonal from each other. Place another pillar, and then on the end right here, we're going to place the pillars like this. Now, that diorite block is just a filler block for the bone. It could be whatever block you choose it to be. I'll go ahead and do this same pattern all the way around. Here are some extra shots just so you can see. And here's an overhead view. Make sure it looks exactly like this before we start moving on. Now we're going to go ahead and raise up all the pillars by 1. So go ahead and just place a log block on every single pillar. Make sure you raise up the fences that are connected to the log blocks. And we're going to go ahead and do that once more. So go around and place logs again. Now we're going to raise up the pillars again, but this time leave out the end pillars. So you're not going to raise up the end pillars. Now you see me building up the bones right here. There is a closer shot. Now these bones are kind of just random. You're going to have to try to work them out for yourself, but we will go over how to build them at the end of the build. Now on the left side, here is the other bone. And we're going to raise up the pillars one more time, but you're only raising up the pillars in the middle of the tent. So when you're done, it should look like this. You have a 2 high pillar on the end, a 3 high pillar in the middle, and then in the very center of the tent, you're going to have a 4 tall pillar. I'll go ahead and bring out some slabs like you see me doing right here. This is going to be the start of the bones on the roof. We're going to go ahead and start the roof now. So we're going to place some red blocks in this U shape or this V shape, filling in the middle just like this. Now this is going to be kind of tough to tell you exactly how to build this roof. You kind of just have to follow along with the video. It is a very natural shape and it does follow the contours of the pillars that we laid out. And like I said before, it does not have to be perfect. This is an orc house. It's supposed to look messy and jumbled up. Now we're going to start building this corner by adding 1 block, 2 blocks diagonal to that, and then another block. Right here, this is where the tent is going to kind of droop down, right? On the top of this build, it's basically a giant red tarp, so we just got to drape it over.
Above that, go ahead and kind of curve it in. And right here, you could see how we start getting the droopy effect. Here's a better shot of that. And we're going to come along on the other side, kind of like how we did at the other side, and just place 3 blocks. You don't have to add that fence, it's just for a little bit of extra detail. Go ahead and connect up the tarp. We're actually going to wrap it around all the way and connect it into the bone, like you see me doing right here. Just building up the tarp, making sure that the end of it is drooping down. We're going to place a spruce plank right there, and that's actually going to be the inside of the tarp. It's going to act as supports. And here's a better shot, and you guys can see it's not that perfect. Like, if you switch up a couple blocks here and there, I'm sure it's going to look absolutely fine. And we're going to build that kind of similar pattern all the way around. Don't forget to poke out the bones at the back for the extra support. And then again, just working on the bones, we're going to end up building these up a couple more blocks, putting some full blocks and then some stairs at the end. Now these deep slate stairs and slabs are going to act as a rim that go all the way around the building, kind of tie in the bottom to the top. We're going to go ahead and do this all the way around. Now I know I'm not the best at tutorials, but I do want to get better at making tutorials, so please leave any constructive criticism down in the comments below. We're going to come through with the red blocks again, kind of just lining out where we had just placed those deep slate slabs. And this is where you could really start getting sloppy with the build. You could place blocks that aren't supposed to be there, and it'll still look perfectly fine at the end. And as you guys can see, we are texturing up the tarp. So that's why I'm saying red blocks instead of red wool, red concrete. You know, I really want you guys to get used to mixing these blocks up. So now we're starting with the spruce slabs upside down. And like I said before, these are going to act as like supports. They're going to act kind of like rafters for the inside. These are what's going to hold up the entire tent shape. And the front again, building up the bones. We're actually going to start curving these up on the opposite end, as you see me doing right here. Again, with that U shape in the front, just bringing that up. Going around with the red blocks. And this is actually going to be another bone spike that's going to be on the side. To finish off these bones in the front, we're just going to place some walls. Now you don't have to do that, but if you like the style of it, definitely do. And I kind of did this build in a layer, like layer by layer. Let me know down in the comments if you like that, or if you'd rather have it like I build up the structure first and then we place in like the tarp and everything like that. But as you guys could see, we linked up the bones on each side with the spruce rafters. And coming through with the red blocks again, adding on another layer. As you guys could tell, as more layers we go up, the top of this tent is going to kind of cave in on itself. It's going to become smaller. And this is going to be the second deep slate rim that we're going to add to the roof. This one's going to be a lot smaller than the first one. Hopefully you guys aren't having that difficult of a time following along from the video on screen. With all the rafters connected, it's going to start closing in on itself. It's time to really close up this roof. And with this layer of blocks, we're going to add it right on top of the last layer, putting a block in the middle. And I guess you could call this like the headdress of the roof. There's going to be a lot of detail that goes on this part, including some trapdoors. You can see me putting them on that one block in the middle. Go ahead and place some trapdoors on the outside as well. So we're going to close up the roof in the middle with some red blocks, but then on the outside, we're going to make like a U shape. We still want to leave that open for a little while longer. Putting some more trapdoors everywhere, just to act as like ornaments. Coming up with another layer, same exact as the last one, just some block swaps here and there. And then we're finally going to work on closing these two areas off. We've already closed off the middle, but we left these two bits so these huge protruding bones can stick out. Now in the middle right here, you guys could see the log in the middle on top of the trapdoors. This is actually going to hold a fence. And then a gold block. And then you're going to put two bells on the side. And I thought this was a really fancy way of tying the top of this build together. Taking some inspiration that I've seen on architecture from the East. Now building up these bones is a little bit tricky. You might have to work with them for a while like I did. But this is just me placing blocks randomly to whatever looks good, whatever my eyes think look good. Now again, here is the second bone. This one's going to be a little bit smaller than the one that's off to the side and the one that's going to come out of the top. So it's just a little spike dealio. Go ahead and do that on the opposite side as well. And like I said, if you guys have any constructive criticism about this tutorial, please let me know down in the comments below. I didn't really want to make it like a 2-hour long video, so I decided to do it in this sort of fashion. But if you guys would rather have me do a block by block tutorial that spans like 2 hours, then just let me know in the comments. And here's just another shot of the bones. If you want to build these bones exactly like this, I would suggest pausing and just trying to follow along with what you see on the screen. And then we're going to finally work on the top bones. Now these are going to be larger bones on the top right here, kind of like the ones protruding out the side. Just go ahead and follow along like you see on the screen right here. Placing blocks and stairs, you really want them to curve up and then in at a certain point. So this entire top piece kind of forms like a U shape. That's what you should be aiming for. And once you finish off those bones, that is going to complete the outside of the build. Now, like I said, this is a more intermediate build. There's a lot of odd kind of shapes, a lot of natural shapes, and a lot of it is just building up the bones randomly for yourself. And if you guys want to see an interior of this build, an interior tutorial, then please let me know down in the comments. I did not include it in this one. This one's already 20 minutes long, so I'm trying to make it as short as possible. And if you guys had any issues with anything, please let me know. Like I said, I'm trying to get better at tutorials, so this might be a little scuffed. Also recorded this with the replay mod because I can't really record Minecraft in first person right now. When I try to record, I'm getting like 10 to 15 FPS. So that's why I haven't really been posting Minecraft. And when I do post Minecraft, it's probably going to be in a replay mod like this. So just let me know how you guys think of this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.